Hey yo, what's up and welcome. I'm the one and only WestCoastKing, and welcome back to the Galacticos series here in MLS. And today we're heading into the summer transfer window, which means pre-contracts are on the agenda. I'm looking to bring in one, possibly two players into the team via pre-contract, so they'll be here at the start of next season, but we can get massive upgrades through the pre-contract system here. And I think this is going to be a very, very busy transfer window for us. But before we get into that, let's have a look at the team, kind of remind ourselves where we are at. We have Catrona up top now, our star striker we brought in at the beginning of this season. Kluivert on the left. We have Alessandrini still holding it down on the right-hand side. He's been our top scorer throughout this entire series, so I'm a little bit hesitant to sell him. Whenever we do sell him, I'm worried about where the goals are going to come from, but I'm sure with the quality in this team, we'll be able to pick it up. We have Gio and Jonathan Dos Santos both still in the team as well, and then Tyler Adams holding down the other midfield spot. Across the back, we have Leo Dubois, Romney, Reyes, Shkelvik, and then in between the sticks is our Youth Academy call-up, Wayne Taylor. So the team is looking pretty solid, but not only are we going to be bringing players in this transfer window, I'm thinking we're also going to be possibly selling a couple of players. Ola Kamara is still someone I think we have to address. We probably need to move him in this transfer window. The other thing is that Gio, Jonathan, Alessandrini, and Ola Kamara all are at least 28 years old. A couple of them are 29. If we're going to get max value for them via selling them off, we need to move them kind of quickly here. So this could turn into a very, very big transfer window. So here is a look at the revised shortlist. A couple of names are gone off this list. Angel Correa, I don't think anyone wanted to see in the team, so he's out. And then also Anthony Martial. I just can't get him. He's not going to turn 23 until December, so that means he's not available for pre-contract this summer. So there's no point in keeping him on this list. The two top names remain, though. Miguel Almiron, who I'm going to go after to start things off with right here, on a pre-contract to bring in next season. He seems to be the most popular player that you guys want to see. And then Alphonso Davies, still a player that everyone is mentioning in the comments. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go for Alphonso Davies now or to start off next season. I can pretty much get him whenever I want. It's just when I want to pull the trigger on that thing. So let's start off with going after Miguel Almiron, and then we'll see how much money we have left, and then we'll address the rest of the shortlist because there's some pretty big names on there. All right, Miguel Almiron has made his way to the West Coast. Let's begin negotiations here. Obviously a crucial first-team player in this team. He'd be a crucial first-teamer on any team in the MLS, and he's fine with that. And obviously he would be. Contract length, I like to go for 4 years, but he's probably going to want 3. He's good with 4. All right, I like that. No release clause. Don't want to have to worry about that with my Galacticos. Now we have the contract. He's making 13.5K per week. This is going to be the tricky part. I'm not really sure what he's going to want to bump up to. Do we try to keep it around 13 to 15, or do we just go for a bigger contract, 20 to 25? We have a lot of money in the budget, so we could pretty much do anything we want. I say we go for like a, in the middle, like an 18,000. I don't think he'd get too pissed if that's too low. I at least want to keep him at the table. I don't want him to walk off pissed. So, and a 200,000 bonus. That seems pretty good. What are you gonna say about that? Okay, he wants 15K and a revised bonus. Let's try to work this out here. 500,000 for 20 goals. Okay, let's bump that up to 500 flat and remove that bonus, and I think we'll be good with that. I'm pretty satisfied with that one. I think that should get it done. And it is. So Miguel Almiron will be joining the LA Galaxy at the start of next season. Alright, so I had a plan for this transfer window, and then I decided to completely scrap it and go a different direction. Instead, I just want to get this fullback position out of the way so it's off of our minds going into next season. And the player that I think you guys want to see the most is Diogo Dalot. I think that's how you say his name. From Porto. A very decent young fullback. He's going to need some training, but I'm not really spending training on anyone else right now anyway, so I have plenty of time to give him the attention that he needs. We can groom him to be a very decent player in this team. It's going to cost me $4 million, plus I'm throwing in Rolf Fletcher as well to kind of bring the fee down a little bit. I think it's a good deal. It's one we can afford. Let's get Diogo into the squad. And now all we have to do is agree to a contract with Diogo, and it's a very inexpensive contract. $6,500 in wages. feels like an absolute steal. Let's try to get rid of those bonuses, though. You know, I don't like paying those clean sheet and appearance bonuses and things like that. Let's make this thing an even 100K. I think we can go with that. Throw that on there, remove the other one, and let's see if that's going to get it done. It will. Diogo is joining the LA Galaxy. So here's where we stand with Alphonso Davies. If they were willing to accept any one of the players that I have to offer them, I could get him right now. Wouldn't be a problem. Alessandrini, either one of the Dos Santos brothers, Ola Kamara, any one of them I'd be willing to swap for Alphonso Davies. The problem is Vancouver wants a left winger. Doesn't matter that Ola Kamara can play left wing. Doesn't matter that Alessandrini can play left wing. They could put them over there, have no problems at all. They want specifically their first preferred position has to be left mid or left winger. So I have to give them either Kluivert or Emmanuel Boateng. And I'd give them Boateng, but then I don't have enough money to actually pay the rest of the fee. You can see I tried that. They'd want 8.6 million on top of Boateng. It's too much. I don't have it right now. So we're either going to have to wait till next season to get Alphonso Davies, or we have to sell off a couple of players, and then we can revisit Alphonso Davies in this transfer window, which is I'm hoping what is going to happen. So right now, we actually have a different problem, and that's that Bradford Jamieson desperately wants to play, and I don't have a spot for him in this team, obviously. I really want to keep him as a backup, though. He's very valuable to me for this squad, but it's gotten to the point that the board is about to step in. So I'm going to loan list him, and hopefully we get some offers in for him. If not, the board is probably just going to sell him out from under me. And thankfully, it didn't take very long to get a loan offer in for Bradford Jamieson. It's actually from Newcastle in the Premier League, so I'll go ahead and accept. I'm very happy to send him to Newcastle. I like sending players to teams that I actually like. That's a big step up for Bradford Jamieson. The thing is, though, loan deals in FIFA don't usually work for some reason. I would have a hard time believing that Jamieson wouldn't jump at the chance to move to the Premier League, though. And now we are in business. We have an offer for Roman Alessandrini, and it's from Burnley. The offer $17.9 million. That's not too bad. The thing with Alessandrini is he's 29 years old. He's already gone down by 1 in his overall this season. We need to sell him quickly to get top dollar for him. And I think I'm going to try to make this deal work. I'm going to try to get a little bit more. Burnley is, I think they're in the Premier League. Pretty sure. One of those teams that kind of bounce around between the Championship and Premier League. I don't know which one they're in right now. We are in Season 2. They could have gotten relegated, though. I don't think they'd come in with this offer if they were in the Championship. But let's try to get a little bit more money out of them. Let's say, they said I could get almost 21 for him, or over 21 million. So let's go 19.9. Let's not go 20 million. Let's go 19.9 million and see what Burnley has to say. And they'll do 19.9. All right. I think that's Sam. Is that Sam Dyche? I think. I can't remember. It is Sean Dyche. I was close. So we have another offer in now. This one is for Giovanni Dos Santos. This is where things get a little bit tricky, because if I sell Giovanni and I sell Alessandrini, I don't have another center attacking mid to play. I don't. We'd probably have to change the formation and go a little bit more defensive, which I could do. I could slide Perry Kitchen back in. But I hesitate to sell two high-rated players like that. It's going to make the team a lot worse for this season. And we still need to be competing. Before we do this, let's go take a look at the team and see how we can change things around and see if this is a feasible option right now. Alright, so if we got rid of Giovanni Dos Santos, I don't have a center attacking mid. I flat don't. So we'd have to go a little bit more defensive. I still want to stay with a 4-3-3. It works really well for us. Do I go defend or do I go holding? I think we go holding like that, because Junior Dos Santos can stay in there. Tyler Adams will slide back. I could bring Perry Kitchen back in. I mean, that's an option. As a matter of fact, I think we actually do go holding 4-3-3 that way, or defending 4-3-3. That way we can have two CDMs. We'll play Perry Kitchen, Tyler Adams there. Junior Dos Santos will play in the center mid spot, and then. Yeah, I mean, that works. I guess. I think we're actually still pretty solid like that. We're short a midfielder. I might have to go buy a midfielder just to cover us. Yeah, we don't really have much else after that. So I might have to go buy another midfielder just to cover us for this season, but that doesn't look too bad. And now, I had originally set a price that I was not willing to go below for Giovanni Dos Santos. I don't remember what that was. I'm pretty sure it was like 15 something million. Maybe it was 14.5. I don't really remember. But I think we could get a little bit more. Let's try to go like 15.5. It's not much more, but it's an extra $1 million. You never know what we could do with an extra $1 million. Let's see what they have to say. 15.5 is good. And that might be Giovanni Dos Santos sold, assuming they can work out a deal on personal terms. All right, so a lot of movement this transfer window. A couple of our players are off to the Premier League. The loan deal for Bradford Jamieson went through, so he's off to Newcastle. Alessandrini is off to Burnley. That leaves us a lot of money. Plenty to go get Alphonso Davies. So let's go get our star young winger. I'm not sure if we can get it for less than his buyout clause, though. 11.7 million. The deal that I was working with earlier, where I had Boateng plus a transfer fee, was pretty much $11 million. I'm not sure if I can get it for less than that or not. You know what? Let's try to do it for less than the 11.7 million. If it doesn't work out, we'll wait a week and we'll pay the release clause. So I'm going to start off with straight up 9 million. That's his current value. I might be able to get him for less. I think he's on an expiring contract, but I'm not sure. You know what? I'll throw in a sell on clause. I don't even care what it is because I ain't going to sell him. So let's do that one. Yeah, let's submit that. Let's see what they say with that. And okay, that seems to work. So $9 million for Alphonso Davies, not too bad. So now we just have to work out the contract for the young Canadian. We're going to go 10K per week in wages. That's almost double what he's getting in Vancouver. And a $300,000 bonus. I don't presume that would be a problem. I'm pretty sure they'll accept that one straight off the bat. And do we have him? We do. I'm sure that I probably overpaid, especially in that bonus, but I think that's a fair offer for Davies. So with the transfer of Giovanni Dos Santos completed, we now have an offer in for his brother Jonathan. This one is from Borussia Mönchengladbach. It's $11 million. Decent offer. I'd probably want quite a bit more, probably closer to 14 or 15 million. But either way, I don't have the players to do this right now. I can't sell another player in this transfer window or this season pretty much at all. We have to hang on to everyone we have. We have a ton of money. Let's go spend some of that before we sell anyone else. And when I say we have a ton of money left over, I'm talking 18.5 million in the transfer budget with 163 in the wage budget. I can pretty much go get any center back that I want. Just the options for center back aren't very good right now for pre-contract players, and that's not enough to go buy a top center back from a team outright. So I'm not really sure what we're going to do with all this money this season, but we got to spend some of it. So here are once again the center backs that I have shortlisted, and I looked again. There's really nobody else in this summer that is on an expiring contract that I would want to go get. Socrates has already signed a pre-contract with another team. I think he's off to Napoli. Yeah, he's off to Napoli, so we can't get him. It's going to be either Diego Godin or Jan Vertonghen. Both of them are a little bit older than what I'm looking for right now, so I don't think I want to go for a center back in this transfer window. I have, however, looked again at the center mid options. Koke is an option. He's in his prime, 87 rated. He might even be able to get to 90 with a little bit of training. Or Anderson Talisca, he's 84, not quite up to his prime, but he will get into the high 80s, possibly 90 as well. I think I was really looking forward to going for one of these big players up here. Maybe even, I was kind of even thinking Nebel Fekir over Christian Eriksen. I know, I'm a Spurs guy, but I've never had Fekir in a career mode. I've had Eriksen before. I don't know. I don't know if I want to stick it out and go for one of them, or if I want to go for Koke. I probably would go for Koke, if I'm honest. And then we could play Almiron at center attacking mid next season. It would all work very, very well. All right, I've made my decision. And I'm going to at least sit down and have some negotiations here with Koke. I know you guys might be a little bit disappointed to not see Eriksen or Fekir or someone like that in the team. But I'm going to just ball out next year for a center back. Bailly's not a bad consolation prize if I want to bring him in. Or Sergio Ramos. I'm just worried that next year we won't have the funds to bring in two massive players. I think we need to get one out of the way now. Koke is the best player. I think the best player in the world I could bring in this transfer window on a pre-contract. So let's try and see if we have enough money to even get Koke at this point. Let's go with 3-year deal. I think he'll probably not go 4. So yeah, 3 years is good. Release clause of 96 million. Okay, we'll do that. I don't know if anyone's going to pay that or not. They might. I hope not, but I'm worried about the wages and stuff. So Wow, they're going to let me start off the wage conversation. He's making 115 at Atletico. Let's go for 100 and... No, I have 160 in the wage budget. Let's go just do the 163 that I have in there and see if that's going to be enough. And now for the bonuses. I was hoping that he would start the wage discussion and throw a number out there that I could work off of. But I don't know what I want to do here. Let's go... I think it's going to be like 10 million. I'm afraid to overpay, though. I don't want to do that. Let's go... I think it's going to have to be like 10 million. Let's go 10 million for that and see... Let's start the discussion there and see what he has to say. Okay, that's enough. And you know what? I'm comfortable with that. I might have overpaid. I don't really know, but I feel like that was a fair offer. So there is our midfield set for this team. Coming in next season, we have Koke and Miguel Almiron. And the thing I really like about this is that I can now play Almiron in his preferred position, which is center attacking mid. If I would have brought in Fekir or Eriksson or someone like that, I would have had to move Almiron or move one of them out of center attacking mid. I'd rather play players in their preferred position, and this just sets the team up to perform at its peak level. So I'm pretty happy with this overall. So once again, here is a look at the squad. It's very, very strong. This right side needs a little bit of training, honestly. Davies and Diogo, I'm going to be training them the rest of this year. Probably will get them to 80 overall before the start of next season. That's the goal anyway. We'll be adding the midfield pieces at the start of next season as well, with Almiron playing here. We'll move the formation back to attacking, and Almiron will play center attacking mid, and then we'll add Koke into this spot next to Tyler Adams. We also need to get Adams up to 80 overall. Kind of forgot about him. We'll have to work on him as well. And then all we have to do is get that center back on a pre-contract in the summer of next season, win it all the year after that, and the series is done. We've completed the whole thing, so it's looking like this is going to be a 4-year project. Oh, you thought we were done with the transfer window? Oh, no. We have a ton of money still left in the budget. Might as well splash some more cash. And what do Galacticos teams do? They pick apart their own league for the best young talent. So let's go shopping. First on the list is going to be Chris Durkin from DC United. Has potential in the low 80s. I negotiated a transfer fee of $1.7 million for him, and now we just have to negotiate the contract. Let's see if he'll accept this one. 4.1K per week. Done. Chris Durkin, welcome to Los Angeles. Next up, I've targeted the center attacking mid position. This is a pre-contract deal as well, so it works out. I don't have a center attacking mid spot right now. I'll wait till next year when we swap back to the center attacking mid formation to bring this guy in to back up Miguel Almiron, and it's going to be Tomas Martinez from Houston. He can also play center mid, so this actually is a very good deal for us. Just in case anyone gets hurt, he's good coverage. So let's submit this offer, see if this one will work for him. 11,500 per week is quite a bit. Plus, I had to offer him important squad role that might get a little bit messy, but he's accepted the deal. Tomas Martinez will be joining us next year as well. And the last player is going to be Michael Barrios. He's not even at Dallas anymore. He's moved overseas somewhere. So I'm going to offer him a 3-year contract, 12.5K per week in wages. And he's going to be joining the LA Galaxy next year as well. What's a Galacticos team without stupid, ridiculous, insane depth? So now I think we're done with the transfer window. Here are all the players we're bringing in on pre-contract. Almiron and Koke, the star pieces for next season. Tomas Martinez and Michael Barrios are coming in for depth. That is ridiculous. I'm really liking the look of this team now. I still have money left over. I could probably go buy a couple more players for a couple mil each, but honestly, I don't need them at this point. I know Galacticos teams have great depth, but we're already there. We're already the deepest team in the league. It's not even close, and this is just going to add to it. All right, so with the transfer window done, we can get into moving through the rest of this season. Let's take a look at the results so far. We have the month of July, only one game here. We beat Vancouver 1-0. Moving on to August, we got a 1-1 draw against Houston. US Open Cup action, 4-0 win over New England. Moved on to play Dallas, a 3-0 win there. A 2-1 win over Seattle in the semifinal of the US Open Cup. So we are into the final of this competition, and I will be playing that final. We moved on and we beat Chicago 4-1. A good month of August so far. We're unbeaten in July and August. Then things kind of took a turn here. We got a 1-0 loss against Sporting Kansas City. 2-1 loss against RSL. Moving on to September, we did beat Orlando 2-1. And then we had Minnesota, 0-0 draw away there. Thought we should have done better with that one. 2-1 loss to Seattle. We beat Montreal 2-1. A 1-1 draw against DC United. Again, dropped points. And then a 2-0 loss to Dallas. And I should have rotated the team there. We lost with our starters in. That was bad because now we're into the US Open Cup final. And the starters are pretty tired. So this is going to be a very tricky match against a very good Atlanta team. So here's a look at the squad. We have Kamara starting at left wing. I couldn't go with Kluivert. He's too tired. I don't want to risk injury there. I'm already risking it with Alphonso Davies, but I want to play with our new players. I want to see how they do. So I'll leave him in with Catrona up top. At some point, though, I probably will rotate Kamara up top and bring in Boateng on the left-hand side. In the midfield, you may notice it's not what it should look like. I have 3 CDMs in there. That's because Jonathan Dos Santos, I kept him because I didn't have enough players for that position, tore his LCL, and he's out for the rest of the season. So that's our midfield. Thank God I bought Chris Durkin. He's actually 69 rated and pretty decent. The back line is pretty much what you'd expect. Dubois, Reyes, Romney, and Delot, and then we have Taylor in goal. So yeah, the team is tired, hurt, not in good form, and we have Atlanta in the US Open Cup final. The odds, despite what this team is, the odds are kind of stacked against us here. Alright, so here's a look at our opponent, Atlanta United. They, of course, have Miguel Almiron in the team. We get one more look at him before he joins us next season. I almost bought Andrew Carleton as well. He's actually in the starting 11 for them too, but that's pretty much a full-strength Atlanta team going up against us, who are pretty rotated. Alright, boys. It's trophy time for the Galaxy. You know what is on the line. We gotta pretty much win everything. That's our objective from here on out. Win everything. So, it starts right here. Oh boy, Villalba just jacked that from Dubois. And here comes Miguel Almiron back for Villalba. This is not good. This is not the start that we wanted. Freaking Martinez! That was such a vintage Atlanta play, and there was nothing I could do about it. Boy, Kitchen. Big tackle by Perry Kitchen. Gets the pass off to Ola Kamara. Here we go. Ola Kamara driving in on goal. Ola Kamara turns it back inside. Ola Kamara gets the shot away, but Gonzalez Perez blocks it. All right, a corner for us here. We're going to have this one short to Dubois. He cuts it inside. Oh, the guy that I want to pass to is not onside, though. Now he is. It's going to be Romney. Guzan. When did Guzan turn into Spider-Man? He's never had that kind of reflexes. All right, 35 minutes in. Catrone has not shaken off his injury, so we're going to take him out as a precaution. Winning the US Open Cup, not as important as having him healthy for the MLS Cup playoffs, which are coming up very, very quickly here. McCann on this ball. Atlanta threatening towards the end of this first half. That should be ours. Well, it was almost ours. Oh, my goodness, Hernandez. The left back, that opens up Carlton. Get back there. Dubois! Martinez. He's almost scored a couple of times, but we've held him at bay thus far. Oh, no. Oh, Almiron. I accidentally went for a tackle there, and it was very ill-advised. That's not good. Ball in there. Joe Almiron almost scored a world ender. How in the hell? That was so close. All right, start of the second half. I would say Atlanta, probably the better team in the first half there. We're hanging in, though. We haven't conceded yet. I say yet because I do feel like Josef is probably going to score a goal at some point, but he hasn't gotten one thus far. That works, though. Boateng. Oi, Boateng just sold that dude. He's going to play it in the middle. There's Perry Kitchen again. Yo, Perry Kitchen is literally everywhere. He was just back playing right back and covered an over-the-top ball. Now he's up at the other end putting a shot down Guzan's throat. What in the hell is Perry Kitchen is so good? Ball out here for Boateng. Gives the spin move inside. Boateng. Oh, he stops it. I didn't exactly mean to do that, but Kamara holds it. Nicely done. Plays it through. Here is Davies. Alphonso Davies! And he puts it wide. I had to take it back onto his stronger left foot. All right, well, Martinez is coming off for Atlanta. That's a little bit of a surprise for them. It's still 0-0 with just over 10 minutes to play. We're going to make some subs of our own. Our last 2 subs. Skelvik's going to have to come on for Dubois. He's just dead tired. And then Kluivert's going to come on for Alphonso Davies. Come on, boys. 5 minutes left. Can we find a winner in here? Adam slides it over here. Wow, Kluivert is just literally all alone in the box. Cuts it inside. Kluivert, Guzan save. Boateng, bang in the back of the net. And there it is. LA Galaxy 1-0 up now. 3 minutes left of regulation. And I think we just kind of stole this thing. Atlanta was the better team in the first half. We turned it on in the second half. We were definitely the better team here in the second. We kind of deserve that goal. Guzan's been keeping him in it. There's nothing you can do about that rebound, though. Beautifully done. Nicely worked, boys. And through. Wow, what a ball in for Kamara. Kamara gonna go for the chip. Oh, he just put it wide. He was that close. That was perfectly weighted. He almost chipped Guzan. And there is the final whistle. That actually caught me by surprise. I forgot there was very little time left, but we do get the victory in the end. 1-0 over Atlanta. That was a very, very tough match. They're a little harsh on Atlanta to not get a goal in that first half. Martinez had a number of chances, just couldn't beat our goalkeeper, Wayne Taylor. And we got one at the very, very end. A little bit cheesy, a very, very FIFA goal in the end. A rebound put back into an open net, but I'll take it. That's another trophy for LA. Alright, well, it's not all good news. Yay, we won a trophy, but oh my god, are we in a lot of trouble now. We have to go through the MLS Cup playoffs without Patrick Cutrone. He broke his toe. I don't know how he continued playing in that match with a broken toe, but he soldiered on for about 20 minutes before I took him off. But yeah, he's done for the season. Out 2 months. That hurts. That hurts a lot. But we have Ola Kamara, so it's actually not the worst case scenario. That's the best player we have on the bench. Now just put back in the starting 11. And actually, having a look at the stats this year, losing Cutrone is really not that big of a deal. He's only scored 7 goals this year in 33 appearances. Kluivert's our leading scorer, 14 goals in 37 games. Davies has 9 in 36, although some of that is probably carryover from when he was in Vancouver, but that's just not what I was expecting from the most expensive transfer that we've done so far. That's just not good enough. Dubois has 6. Our left back has 6 goals. Our striker only has 7. And so the regular season has now come to a close. We can have a look at the rest of our match results here. That win against Atlanta seems to have turned our fortunes around, thank goodness. We beat Colorado 4-0 after that. Then we went on to the California Classico. We beat San Jose 2-1. Beat RSL at home. That's big. They're in second place in the Western Conference, or at least they were when we played them there. And then we beat Vancouver 4-0 to end the season. So we're going into the playoffs riding a hot streak. And here are the final standings for the regular season as well. We finished atop the Western Conference by a pretty comfortable margin. 13 points clear of Seattle. RSL, Houston, and Vancouver round out the playoff field. I was actually wrong. I guess RSL wasn't in second place when we played them. They were when they beat us earlier, like last month, but I guess they kind of fell off after that. But Seattle takes the second spot. Not too bad. But actually, we didn't win the Supporter Shield this season, despite dominating the Western Conference. The Supporter Shield winner actually came from the East, tied with us on points, but they got the tiebreaker based on their wins. They have 20 wins, we have 19, and that was the Columbus Crew with 67 points and 20 wins to their name. Atlanta finishes second. NYCFC, Toronto, and Orlando round out the playoff field there. So yeah, wow, that's a little surprising that we didn't get that Supporter Shield. And here is a look at the playoff field now. Houston knocked out Vancouver in the Western Conference in the one-game playoff. Toronto did the same to Orlando. So it's going to be Columbus, Toronto, Atlanta, NYCFC, LA and Houston, Seattle and RSL. I'm not going to lie, Seattle and RSL both kind of scare me coming out of that bottom bracket down there. We're going to get by Houston, I'm pretty sure, but whoever we have to play in the semifinal, that could be a very difficult matchup. So here we go with the playoffs now. First leg away at Houston. And actually, one other thing, I was wrong about Jonathan Dos Santos' injury. He's not done for the season. As a matter of fact, he's back. He's on the bench for this one. He's not fully fit yet, but he's available in case we need him. So hopefully, maybe by next round, if we make it that far, he'll be back in that starting 11. So let's see how we do in this first leg. Dubois, again, he just scores goals. He's like the best goal-scoring left back of all time. But we get a 1-0 lead early on through Dubois. Let's see if we can't add one more. We do through Ola Kamara. I told you that wouldn't be a big thing missing Cutrone, especially with the way he's played this year. Absolute shit, if you ask me. But 2-0, 3-0. Ola Kamara adds a second. They get one back. Can we just end this thing 3-1? 3-1, heading back to LA with 3 away goals. I don't think Houston's coming back. And now for the second leg back in Los Angeles, or Carson, California, not actually Los Angeles. Doesn't matter. We're back home for this one, though. All we got to do is see this thing out. Can we grab a goal early? No, but Tomas Martinez does. That's why I bought him. Alphonso Davies does equalize a short time later, though, and I mean, that should do it. They're not coming back, man. They got to score 2 more, I think. I don't think it's gonna happen. 30 minutes left. 20 minutes left. Nothing going on. That's fine with me. This thing could end 1-1. I'm good. And it actually ends 2-1 as Kluivert, our top scorer, adds 1 more right at the end. But actually, Durkin picked up an injury on the 90th minute. We couldn't just get out of that clean, could we? No, we couldn't. Durkin's going to be out for 2 weeks, so he's probably going to miss the next round of the playoffs, which is very, very disappointing. At least we got Dos Santos back. He played in that last match, so we're going to be okay. But we get someone back, we lose someone. We get someone back, we lose someone. It's just a never-ending cycle. And so here's a look at the playoffs now going into the semifinal. We will be playing Seattle. They knocked out RSL 5-1. Very impressive from them. Toronto knocks out Columbus. So much for that supporter shield winning side over there in Columbus. That didn't last very long. And then Atlanta knocks out NYCFC in a very close matchup, 2-1. So high scoring in the West. We dropped 5 on Houston. Seattle dropped 5 on RSL. Close games in the Eastern Conference. So let's move on. Let's see how we get on against Seattle. And heading into this first leg, we have, I guess you could call it a boost to the team if you want to. I wouldn't call it that. But Patrick Cutrone is actually back in training. I haven't brought him for this game because he's still not quite fit enough to play. And also, why would I bring him? He hasn't done anything all year anyway. So I'm very seriously considering trying to sell him and bring in a new striker next year. If we can do that and we have the money to do it, I might actually do it because he just hasn't done anything for this squad. Ola Kamara has been a million times better, but we're 30 minutes into this first leg at CenturyLink Field, and finally we get one through Jonathan Dos Santos. There we go. That's the away goal we're looking for. Now just keep this thing close, and if we can add another one, that would be ideal. 20 minutes left to play. Victor Rodriguez scores for Seattle. That's still okay. Just end it 1-1 and I'll be happy. We get the 1-1 draw. We got the away goal, headed back to LA. And after that one, Cutrone pops his head in the office and says he's okay to play. Yeah, I think we're going to be more cautious with you, Patrick. I don't want to rush you back, you know. You're young, you got a long career ahead of you. I don't want to risk anything putting you back in the starting 11. Or, you know, something like that. I can't tell me shit to his face, okay? I can't say that. And into the second leg we go, and I actually have buckled and brought Cutrone with us for this one, and that's just because squad's a little bit tired. We only had 2 or 3 days of rest between the first leg and the second leg, so we could do worse than bringing an 82 rated striker off the bench. But Tyler Adams gets the scoring started for LA in the 6th minute. I like to see that. And Kluivert adds a second. There we go. Seattle has to get 2 goals. If they do get 2 goals, though, they're actually going to be in the lead with the away goals. But let's see if we can't add 1 more and put this thing to rest. Ladero scores, but Jonathan Dos Santos scores again. Man, getting him back for the playoffs was actually massive. Alphonso Davies piles it on, and we finish 4-1 at home against Seattle, our biggest victory of the career against the Sounders, who we have struggled mightily against so far in these first 2 seasons. So the MLS Cup final is set now. It's going to be the Galacticos of Los Angeles taking on Toronto FC coming out. They had to do the 1-game playoff. I mean, they finished in 4th in the East, so to make it all the way through to the final, very impressive. And they knocked out Columbus, the supporter shield winning side, and Atlanta to get here. They might be the hotter team coming into this thing. I know we've scored 10 goals in the playoffs so far. Very, very impressive. But I think they've knocked out the better team. So this should be an interesting one. And I bet you thought I was going to play this game, didn't you? But I already played the US Open Cup final against Atlanta, and the reason I played that game was with this team and the injuries we had picked up, I wasn't sure we were actually going to make this MLS Cup final, so I wanted to make sure I had at least 1 game to play this episode. So the team's going to have to get this thing done on their own. We are going to run with the same team we've had the entire playoffs pretty much. Cutrone's still going to be on the bench. I'm not going to make the change now, not after the 4-1 whooping we put on Seattle. So let's see what we can do here. We're at home for this game as well. Diego this time. I thought it was Dubois again. Kluivert adds a second. Diego picks up an injury, though. That's not what we want. But we're 2-0 up before halftime. We were 2-0 up inside of 30 minutes. Keep it going, boys. I think we're going to end up adding at least one more. Dos Santos misses a pen, but Kluivert adds another one. Morrow scores. Davies scores. It's 4-1 again. This team cannot be stopped, and we are once again MLS Cup champions. Back-to-back seasons, we are the kings of MLS. So here's a look at the top scorers from this season. Giassi Zardes comes home with the golden boot for the Supporter Shield winning Columbus Crew. Justin Kluivert, though, ends up as the second top scorer in the league. 20 goals scored for the LA Galaxy. Davies actually had 14 goals as well. And you know what? I think back to it. I know Cutrone wasn't great this year. And again, I'm still considering maybe swapping him out for somebody else. Let me know what you think about that idea in the comments below, by the way. I'm heavily leaning towards doing that. But even when we had Zlatan playing striker, Alessandrini was our top scorer. So whatever it is about this team, it's just set up so that the wingers are going to be the top scorers. I don't know why that is, but I still think we can do better at striker than Cutrone. He just has been a massive disappointment this season. So here's a look at the squad now at the end of season number 2. You can see the final ratings for the players here. Kluivert is now joint top rated with Dubois and Cutrone at 82 overall. I ended up not training Alphonso Davies or Diogo at the end of the season in the second half. I went for more of the younger players, the youth squad players, to try to fill out the squad because we sold quite a few people. I just wanted to have the ability to have some other players in there just in case we needed them. Plus, I have all next season and the season after that to train them up to get them to 80 overall. So I'm not too worried about that. They will get there, as well as Tyler Adams. He'll get there as well. And then we have the midfield duo of Almiron and Koke joining us next year to fill out that midfield. It's going to look really, really, really good. And yeah, all we have left is that center back spot, unless we address the striker again. And when you think about it, we were cold, ice cold, towards the end of August. We lost like 3 of 4. Then we went into the US Open Cup where I beat Atlanta. And then that's when Cutrone got hurt. And when he went down and we reinserted Ola Kamara, that's when we caught fire. We blew through the rest of the season undefeated, went through the playoffs undefeated. And Kamara, honestly, he's just better than Cutrone. I'm almost considering leaving Ola Kamara as the striker on this team for the Galacticos because he just plays better than everyone else I've put up there. So I'm not sure what I want to do. There is one other player that I'm strongly considering, and that would require one more trip to Atlanta, if you catch my drift, and I'm sure a lot of you do. So that's an option. Let me know again what you think we should do with that striker position in the comments below. But that is going to do it for season number 2 with Los Angeles. Another successful season. 2 more trophies added to the trophy cabinet. Next year, 100%, we're going for the treble. We want the US Open Cup. We want the MLS Cup once again. And this time, we're coming for that Supporter Shield as well. So that's going to do it for this one. If you did enjoy it, make sure to let me know by leaving a like below. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you when we come back for some more Galacticos in MLS. See ya.